Back, beautiful team. I have been away and just doing a lot and working, so I'm super happy to be back alive with all of you. There are so many things going on in the world and on the planet, with us individually, collectively. Today is going to be a planetary update. We are going to talk clones, we're talking reptilians, we're talking solar flares, we're talking mass amounts of people dying, we're talking future timelines and contracts.
Farm, conservation, and business leaders all support climate-smart guardrails in the IRA.
Okay, hold on. It's very bizarre. Having some tech issues.
Farm, conservation, and business leaders all support climate-smart guardrails in the IRA.
Okay, hold on. Okay, hello, again. Hopefully this will solve whatever that issue was. Yeah, having some tech issues, but we're back. We're going to talk a lot of things today. And I don't know if that last part was recorded or not, but yeah, we're going to talk solar flares, clones, mass exit points, interdimensional beings visiting planet Earth, reptilians. I mean, we're going to pretty much cover everything today. In a little update, I will mention that the one thing I'm not going to cover today is a Kate Middleton update. And the reason why I am not going to cover a Kate Middleton update is because I had to privately channel that information. It's pretty wild. Okay, that's all I have to say. It's definitely not for the public. If you are interested in the Kate Middleton update, I recorded a 37-minute video before I hopped on live here, so that is going to be posted to my website after this video is done. So after this, you can go ahead and head over to my website. It's not posted yet, so don't even think about it. And it's really wild. Like, it was just one jaw-dropping moment after another with this Kate Middleton update. So definitely go watch it if you're open-minded. Now, it is membership only, which means that you have to be an awakener or a creator to view the whole thing, which means that if you're not logged in or you're a seeker, you can only watch, I think, the first 3 minutes. Just an FYI, that is more so for my own protection than anything else. I don't know how much it protects, but I definitely feel like having some sort of barrier or wall there will help. So if you want to go check that out, check it out after. But without further ado, let's just deep dive into things and first get started about talking about the solar flares. So we all know that this past weekend there were, or was it the weekend before? Yeah, it wasn't this past weekend, it was the weekend before this. There were about 4 or 5 X-class solar flares, some of the biggest flares that we've had on planet Earth in over 20 years. So what does that mean? How does that affect us? Now remember, solar energy is a vibrational frequency. We are vibrational frequency beings first and foremost, physical beings afterwards, which essentially means that it's hitting the planet, it's raising the vibrational frequency of the planet, and therefore it's affecting our frequency. What it's really doing is it's increasing our frequency. It's helping us within the ascension, within the awakening. And if you haven't noticed, the sun has been changing, right? And it's interesting. I've heard the theory lately about a holographic sun. That isn't what I've seen necessarily. And that's like a whole other topic. But yeah, some people are saying that the sun has been replaced. Right now, I can confirm that what we are seeing is solar radiation, solar flares from our own sun. That's something that I'll have to kind of deeper channel later. But yes, even the sun's, like when I take a look at the light from the sun, it's more of a white than it has been in a long time, right? Before we're used to sort of an orangey glow from the sun, but it's been very, very white recently. And it just feels different. So what solar flares are doing are upgrading our DNA, right? It's unlocking, upgrading our DNA and moving us to a different frequency. And so with an upgrading of our DNA, it upgrades our cells. And one big part that I've channeled of upgrading our cells is like a cellular purging. That's what I would call it. What did I call it down here? Yeah. I basically said corrupt cells are dying off and leaving. Corrupt cells. Now, I'm definitely not a biologist, not even close to a scientist. Pretty sure I failed science in high school, but from what I've been seeing, there are cells in our body that are damaged, and what's happening is our bodies are flushing out the damaged cells at this time. And the flush out could be through many things, right? It could be through our excrements, it could be through a sickness or an illness, it could be through sweating it out. But right now, what I know for sure is that these damaged cells are leaving our body. That's a good thing, but it comes with a myriad of symptoms. A lot of people are getting sick. I was talking about, oh, I haven't been sick in like over 8 years. Well, guess what? 2024 kicked my ass. I've been sick multiple times. Sick, I think it's really just an upgrade. And a big part of that is purging, just releasing. Also, other things like dizziness, lightheadedness, headaches, having trouble sleeping, feeling very, very wired, having vivid dreams, even having pains in your body. For about a week or two, I had such intense body pains, which I don't usually get, and they were all in the areas of my old injuries. So that's something to keep in mind as well, that these body pains will come back around once again to release. It's releasing the pent up energy that's being stored in that part, in that area of your body. And when energy, especially traumatic energy, is being stored in different areas of your body, eventually, if it's stored there long enough, it will create damage within the cells. And if the damage and the energy all sit there for long enough, it creates things like disease, right? Through dis-ease. So this is what's happening. We are purging at a physical level. We are purging at a non-physical level. And the solar flares are helping us do that. So just keeping that in mind. Oh, also, I wanted to mention, within our dreams, there's also a purge, an emotional purge in our dreams. I have had so many random dreams about people in my life or old friends or exes, and they're all just emotionally allowing me to release. Even stuff that I thought I released a long time ago is coming back in my dream, and I feel like it's helping me release any sort of residual energy from that time in my life. So keeping that in mind. Okay, so just yesterday in my bi-monthly coaching call with my members, I did there's been basically a new Starseed mission unlocked. Super cool. I've never channeled it before yesterday, and I'm super grateful that I was able to tap in and understand this a little bit better. The Starseed mission is called the Key or the Keys. So here's what came through. And I highly recommend go watch that coaching call from yesterday because it was incredibly mind-blowing and so validating for so many of us. So in short, there are certain starseeds on the planet who, at this point, if you've watched enough of my videos, you may think that you are either an active starseed, which means that you have a very specifically driven mission on this planet, or you are a retired starseed, which essentially means that you've been on this planet long enough and you're just kind of holding space. You're not doing much. Now, there's like a Starseed mission, and I'm thinking that a lot of you who may think that you're retired are actually a part of this mission group. And the mission group is called the Keys, okay? So essentially what this is a galactic volunteer who has been given a gift, a key, and instead of thinking of it as like a physical key, think of it as, the way I saw it yesterday was a ball of energy that sits in your core, like in your heart chakra and your solar plexus around there. And at a certain point in time, there's all of these missions, these starseed keys all around the planet. And at a certain point in time, that key will be opened up and unlocked. So you are the holder of the key. And so I have some symptoms for you. I have some, if you are a key holder, here are some things that you may be experiencing on top of all of the starseed symptoms as well. So one of the big things with the keys or the key holders are it's almost like they feel like there's a burden on them. Like I'm here with something. I'm here to share something. I'm here to do something. I don't know what that is. And on top of this feeling of having a burden because you have a key within you, but you're not aware of having the key within you, there's a feeling of I've got to do something, I don't know what it is, and every time you try and do a mission or you try and go in a direction, you are stopped. You are stopped from it. And the reason why you're stopped from fully completing or fully deep diving into whatever that mission is because you have to stay protected. A big part of your mission is just to hold the key, wait for the right timing, and then be ready to unlock that key within, which will happen naturally. You don't have to do anything. Thank you, Sharma, as always, for that super chat. And so that's a big part of it is a burden. You are protected, which in some cases means that you're actually kind of held back. That's why I think you may think that you're retired because you're like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And every time I try something, I'm always blocked. So I guess I'm just going to hang out. It's very difficult to differentiate between being retired and being one of these key holders. Now, the keys that are on the planet that are within these starseeds are supposed to be unlocked between the timeline of 2028 and 2030. There was also 2028 and 2035, I believe, were the timelines that came up. And when this key inside of you becomes unlocked, it feels like you're immediately unburdened, but it takes a lot of life force energy to have this key unlocked in you. So you're going to feel very exhausted. You're going to feel very lightheaded, very dizzy, and essentially you're going to be very sick for a week or two. So it shouldn't, it'll knock the wind out of you, but it shouldn't actually take you out. It's just, that's a part. Now, the only reason why I was able to access the information about this new Starseed mission is because more people needed to know about it. So that was just a big update. If you want to know more about being a key holder, once again, please go check out that coaching call. All right, good. Next up is exit points. I have talked about this before, but I'm going to talk about it again. Right now, between 2024 and 2028, we have a lot of people choosing to take exit points. And there's two reasons for people, whether starseeds or not, taking exit points at this time. One portion of the people who are leaving the planet, who are dying, and it could be through a sudden illness, it could be through a long-standing battle with cancer, it could be through a freak car accident, it could be just, a sudden heart failure or what have you. But one portion of these people are incredibly high vibrational individuals who have said, I did what I came here to do, and now I'm leaving. And a lot of those individuals, usually it's a very tragic death because they're typically younger without really a whole lot of health conditions before they took that exit point. And like I said, typically, but every case is different, but extremely earth angels is the sort of energy that I'm picking up on here, okay? And thank you so much for that super chat as well. Now, the other portion of people who are dying at this time and taking the exit points are the opposite end of the spectrum. They are the ones who are so extremely narcissistic, egotistical, unwilling to change, super negative and low vibrational, and they essentially have resigned themselves to make the decision, I am not going to change, I'm never going to change, I am set in my ways, and this is who I'm going to be. And because of that, they are no longer going to align to the higher dimensions, and so the higher frequencies coming to the planet are taking these people off planet, all right? So that's what I'm seeing right now. If you are one of these people who have experienced a lot of death in the past 6 to 8 months, you're not alone. This is going to continue to happen as we move into this timeline of 2024 to 2028, okay? We are splitting the timelines, and some people just can't be here for it. All right, So, now when we talk about underground, what's happening sort of behind the scenes in these underground bases and bunkers, if you've been to the Galactic Federation meetings, then you'll be up to date on this. If I make this statement and you have no idea what I mean by this, then please go check out some of the Galactic Federation meetings to get a little bit more information behind this, because I don't have all day to talk about it, but it is pretty big. There are so many reptilians who are leaving the planet right now as well. And I'm talking about the majority of the underground reptilians. So these are not even the shape-shifting reptilians. These are full-on, like full-formed reptilian beings who have been kept in these underground bunkers, military bases, whatever you want to call them, caves. And the vibration is too high for them. So a lot of them are either dying under there, or they are just choosing to transcend and leave their body completely. All right, so that's a really positive update. Because there have been so many of them in these underground caves, they have been lowering the frequency of the planet. So as they transcend, transmute, or just leave altogether, it's helping the planet increase its vibration. Okay, and then another update here, which is fascinating. So I believe the Iranian president just passed away yesterday or today through a fatal plane crash. And I really don't think that it was an accident. I do feel like that was on purpose. I haven't fully channeled it, but this is just one example of what's taking place all over the world. I'm so excited to announce this. Once again, if you have been a part of the Galactic Federation summits, then I feel like we have been wanting this for so many years. And here's what it is. The white hats have finally been given the go-ahead to take action. Now, we're not talking like, and I really don't like the term white hats. I don't know why, it just doesn't resonate with me. Like the good guys, and I can't even call them just starseeds. It's essentially like a shadow government organization, but for the other side. And it's a group of individuals who are planted within every system of the planet, politics and celebrities and whatnot, and they are ready at any point. They are ready to act, and when they act, they can do some serious turnaround stuff. Okay, so just because they have the go-ahead to act doesn't necessarily mean that they're all going to act in unison. There are many groups, there are many different agendas, just like the shadow government. With the white hats, it's the same thing. In order to cover the planet, there are so many different groups that are working together, but have their own sort of targeted areas. So we're finally starting to see this. We will continue to see oddly synchronistic events take place in the next couple of years that get rid of some of the most corrupt players on planet Earth. In your mind, when you read that news and information moving forward, I want you to think, yes, they're doing their job. We're finally able to do something about this. So that's where we're at. Okay, good. Oh yeah, so if you did not watch last week's download or say message from Kinetic, once again, please go watch that. You can watch that completely ad-free on my website if you don't want to deal with the ads on YouTube. Same with this video. If you want to watch this completely ad-free, go over to my website. All my YouTube videos are on my website. So just a little update, though, from that video. Beings, different interdimensional beings from all over the universe are coming to the solar system in, like, massive amounts, And they've been traveling for quite some time to get to planet Earth, to get to this solar system, to watch the Ascension unfold. Like, it is the greatest show in the universe, and it's happening now. And even one of my questions to Kinetic was, really? Because it kind of feels like we're a couple years off, And they're like, oh no, you don't realize that they've been waiting like millions of years, So this is the time, like a couple years is nothing within their sort of, their concept of time. So they're coming, which, as I mentioned in that video last week, that conversation with Kinetic, please watch it. It means that we're going to see a lot of new sightings. We're going to see a lot of new sightings. So, and it's funny because the Galactic Federation does not want all of these beings to come to planet Earth and interact with us. There's a very, very strict, it's almost like going through different countries and having to go through a border. There are very strict borders around planet Earth that forbid many beings from coming here. However, if they're dealing with tens of thousands, if not more, hundreds of thousands of beings who are all coming in to kind of watch this grand ascension, then it's going to be a lot more difficult to stop them from coming. And they do all have different agendas. Most of them are just curious and they want to like get up close. And it's horrible to say, but it does kind of remind me of a zoo. And, you know, if you're standing from like down the street trying to watch this lion exhibit, and zoos are terrible, but it kind of feels like we're in one. You know, you want to get right up to the fence, and that's essentially what these beings are trying to do. Is they're here and they want to like see things, right? They don't want to just be from the outside. So that's very fascinating. And apparently the Galactic Federation is having many, many, many meetings with many different beings to try and mitigate the risk involved with having so many different beings interested in us at this time. So I do think that the extra sightings can help us, and then also potentially hinder us. It depends on their agendas. Okay. All right, so clones. Let's talk about clones. Fascinating. All right, here's what's happening. Mostly in America. I was going to say all around the planet, but I would say mostly in America. And thank you for that super chat, Claudia. What we're seeing right now is that many celebrities, many basically talking heads, public figures, comedians, politicians are getting replaced by clones. I know it's crazy. And if you want to get really crazy, then you definitely want to watch the Kate Middleton update, because my mind just was so blown earlier by everything that came through. Besides that, okay, that was a lot. Why? Why are the powers that were replacing all of these figureheads with clones? Because they're really scared. Basically, there's a feeling amongst them that they no longer have control over these beings, these celebrities. So we're talking like mostly the Illuminati, like reptilian shapeshifters. I love how I can really say that with a straight face because I believe it. But most of them are getting replaced at this time because any hint of a threat or any hint of like that person being unhinged or not totally like reliable, that's what it is. Are they still going to the sacrifices? Are they still going to the meetings? Have they been avoiding those parties? Have they been avoiding those situations? And if so, they get put on a list, and this is the list to watch. And if they end up triggering, I don't know, I guess the triggering the dynamic of, I'm not a stable celebrity anymore, and I could potentially whistleblow, I could potentially say something, they are replaced immediately as a clone, because it's easier to manage them, right? So that's what's happening. Then the other thing too, so it's a sense of control. It's a control thing. So the other thing too is, when I was taking a look at the clones and the individuals being replaced by clones, and I'm not going to mention like names right now, but I guess I never really thought about this, and it doesn't really surprise me, but this is the first time I saw it for sure, that each of the individuals who have signed the contracts to be in the Illuminati, sold their soul to the devil, like the whole thing, all of their devices are monitored. Like I said, I didn't know this. I've never channeled it, but I'm not surprised by it. But it just came up when I was looking into it. Their computers, their phones, every single device they have within their whole family they're being watched and monitored, because if they were to type in I don't know anything. I don't know if it, I don't know what they're exactly looking for, but I think it's more so like Illuminati whistleblowers or whatever. Like if they start to question things, if they start to wake up, if they start to veer off, if they start to not totally believe or buy into the drink the Kool-Aid or whatever, then once again they're put on that list to be replaced. Very fascinating. Okay, let's talk about timelines. So there are many different timelines. The solar flares are increasing the vibration, which are shifting the timelines. And what I channeled is that the new frequencies are creating more chaos. So it feels overwhelming. It feels like we have no idea what's happening. But also, when we have no idea what's happening and where we're going, every possibility is happening simultaneously. So it induces anxiety, it creates chaos, but it also opens all of the doors. So that's what's happening right now. And chaos timelines. Oh, yeah. The other thing is, it's hard to describe. Yeah, I'm going to try my best. So, because it was a visual that came to me when I was taking a look at the timelines. Say, for example, the timeline between 2010 and 2020, that 10-year timeline, the spiritual ascension or the spiritual awakening that happened in that period would be like a graph like this, right? Now, if you go 2020 to 2030, the spiritual ascension graph timeline, it doubles, like it's exponential, like it goes like it goes, it's hard to describe, but like there's an exponential, like it's doubling itself so rapidly, like there's no stopping this ascension that's taking place. And so that's what I wrote down as well, exponentially shifting us higher, like it's just an exponential shift, which is really exciting. What else? Oh yeah, okay. The other part of the timelines that I wrote down was a lot of corrupt / low vibe people are dying off and getting really sick. So we're going to see that as well, just naturally within politics, within Hollywood, within some influential roles, that if they are narcissistic, if they're negative, if they're low vibrational, they are taking those exit points at this time, which will allow those higher vibrational, the white hat figures, to step in and, obviously lead the country appropriately, which may not be the case for the election. And we're not even going to talk about the election. All right. A couple of last things. Continue to stay vigilant. It's like that's a message that the Galactic Federation has given us many times now. Continue to stay vigilant. Keep your discernment high and make conscious choices. All right? Once again, all that is hidden will be revealed. This was my 2023 message for 2024. All that is hidden will be revealed, and we're seeing that right now. And overall, good news is that we have alignment to the planetary and the prophecy contracts for planet Earth and our ascension. We are aligned. We're exactly where we need to be. The downfall of the old Earth is happening. The shift to the new frequency is happening. Once again, stay vigilant, utilize your discernment, tune into your intuition, and make conscious choices. All right? It is your focus, it is your intention, it is your choice that will lead you into the timeline and dimension that aligns to that, right? That mirror reflects that. As always, thank you all so much. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And share this video. Share it on Instagram. Share it on TikTok. Like, do your thing. Social media people, all right? People need to know that the answers are out there and that it's scary, but it's not the end. It's only the beginning. And then, of course, hop on over to my website, watch the Kate Middleton video update. You have to be like open-minded for it though, okay? Because it's really wild. It is. It's hard for me to wrap my head around, let alone expecting other people to get it. So yeah, I I definitely appreciate the open-mindedness. All right, as always, thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the fifth dimension. Bye for now.